'69 Hemi sitting out in a field. That damn sure was a fine automobile. Now it's heaped up knee-deep in farmland mud. Somebody's dream all covered in rust. 383, 4 on the floor. They ain't making any new old outlaws anymore. Bonnie and Clyde took to robbing them banks, all for them to just make a name. Then John Law one day cut them down, left their blood soaking up that Louisiana ground. 200 bullet holes in that 34 Ford. They ain't making any new old outlaws anymore. Come on. Johnny Paycheck and Billy Joe Shaver had a run-in or two with those Texas Rangers. Waylon and Willie broke every damn rule. Now all those naysayers are saying, ain't they cool? They don't put out a record like they did in '74. Hell no they don't. And they ain't making any new old outlaws anymore. Now you can call me crazy, you can call me a fool. I'm just too country, too old school. I ain't no Hank Williams, I ain't no Johnny Cash. You don't like my music, you kiss my ass. I'm gonna play my songs like they did before, 'cause they ain't making any new old outlaws anymore. They ain't making any new old outlaws. They ain't making any new old outlaws. They ain't making any new old outlaws anymore. Yeah, they don't make any new old outlaws anymore.
Hello and welcome to April's episode of Live in the Living Room. I'm your host Dom from Country Chat with Dom, and we have such an amazing lineup just for you. But first, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to make sure you stay up to date with all of the goings on here at Live in the Living Room. Now, kicking us off was the brilliant Waylon Hanel with his song New Old Outlaws. In the 5 short years since Waylon launched his music career, he's performed as support act opening for Uncle Kracker, Trace Adkins, Chris Cagle, LV Shane, Tyler Farr and Joe D. Messina, among many others. Waylon's 2023 tour scheduled is fast approaching, more than 75 show dates. At only 21s, that is some achievement. Well, next up is Jess T from Country Radio UK's Pick for the Show. Here is Corey Layne with Let's Take Tonight.
My heart's on fire. Tell me everything's alright. There's so many things I want to tell you, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, stay with me tonight. That look Girl, you got me addicted, addicted to your smile. And there's so many things I wanna know, like how you look in the morning light. Don't go, stay with me tonight. Let's let tomorrow stay a million miles away. Let's hold on to tonight. Baby, say you'll stay. 'Cause there's so many things I wanna tell you, but the words won't come out right. Don't go, don't go, stay with me tonight. Don't go, don't go, stay with me tonight.
That was Jess T's pick with Corey, Layne, and Let's Take Tonight. Corey first began singing at around age 5 and writing music as a pre-teen. He's focused on honing his music skills as a writer, singer and musician for most of his life. By 2003 he won an international singing competition, Teen Talent, which was held at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. In 2010 he began travelling to sing background vocals with several prominent gospel artists, including Eddie James. Be sure to give Corey a follow on his socials by following his handles below. In the background you can hear the insanely talented Brian Collins with his song Finer Things. If you ever need an artist to add to your playlist, Brian certainly is one of my top choices. Now up next here on Live in the Living Room is the Ones to Watch segment hosted by our very own Kirsty Krause.
What's up, you guys? Kirsty Krause here. I am back with a new month. It is the month of April, and so we're celebrating 4 new artists for the Ones to Watch. I'm reporting to you from Madison, Wisconsin, my hometown, because we are celebrating a brand new baby in the family. I am now officially an auntie, so I'm so excited to be up here, even though it is tremendously cold. With that being said, let's get started. We have so many amazing artists this month, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. Make sure you click the bell and subscribe and be notified for all of the upcoming content. We put out stuff all the time, and of course, it's all to celebrate our artists and our community, so we'd love for you to be a part of it. All right, here we go. All of these artists were picked by Jess T. And speaking of the lovely and talented and hardworking Jess T, there's also other people behind the scenes that help James and Live in the Living Room put this kind of content together, including this video for the Ones to Watch. Scroll down into the description and make sure you check them out, give them some love, and check out their socials as well. All the people behind the scenes, shout out, we appreciate you, and let's get into it. We have 4 artists this month. So exciting. And a couple of the people I actually know this month have met in person, whether in the UK for C2C or over here in the States for CRS. So this is so exciting. We have Savannah Garner, Corey Layne, Sadie Bass, and James Dunn. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a female because that is totally my style. All right, our first up is Savannah Gardner, and we are so excited to have her. Her voice is tremendous and so strong. Please take a moment to look at the screen. All of her social media is on Savannah Gardner Music, and you can find her on Instagram and Facebook. Savannah is a very busy girl. She has 2 different projects that she works on, and one under her name, Savannah Gardner, and then the other is The Wanted Sister. And since she's gotten to work with some pretty impressive people in Nashville, her latest single under Savannah Gardner is High Desert Memory, and that was co-written with the Nashville Hall of Famer Sharon Vaughn, who was written for the likes of Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. What? It was also, this single was produced by Dale Davis, who is Amy Winehouse bass player and MD. That is tremendous. Make sure you check out her latest single. Now to switch over to the other project, the Wanted Sisters released 2 singles that have both hit #1 in the UK country charts. That is so amazing. And there's an album coming from the Wanted Sister this summer 2023, so mark your calendars. While you're marking your calendars, there's a festival event coming up. Savannah Garter is gonna put a band together and be at a festival called Ramblin' Roots, and that is the weekend of April 14th. So mark your calendars. Now check out this great clip of Savannah singing. I absolutely love this. This is her song, City of Cowboys.
I'm a lonely cowgirl in a city of cowboys, and my heart's been broken and used, but my dreams are made up of sycamore branches, and my dreams came along before you.
Oh my, hell yeah, that was amazing. Savannah Gardner with her song City of Cowboys. Loving this already. That brings us to the #2 artist of the ones to watch for the month of April here with Live in the Living Room, Layne. Layne is one of those that I got to meet in person in Nashville downtown at the Omni Hotel for CRS. He has East Tennessee roots, and his grandfather actually played at the Opry. He is giving us so much soul. It's like he just opens his chest and gives it all out as such a gift. It is amazing, and I can't wait to dive in more about Layne. All right, take a moment to check out on the screen his social media. Everything is under Layne Music on Instagram and Facebook, and also CoreyLayne.com for his website. We're going to talk about today Let's Take Tonight, which was recently re-released in February 23rd of 2023. And this is the clip we have today. So without further ado, we're going to get into that. I have a couple more things I want to share about Corey. He also has a single called Searchlight, which was released last April in 2020, and that is his first single from his new album, Bend or Break. Layne has a lot of music coming out. He also recently was on a national television show, so that was his debut of being an actor on a popular RFD network show called Larry's Country Diner. You'll have to check that out, and maybe we can even put a link to that. But Corey has been quoted to be such a soulful, powerful singer and artist, and that is by David Kamusky from Addiction Studios. I highly suggest you guys go out to see Layne live. He also comes up and tours a lot in my home state, including other various places around the United States. So without further ado, let's take a look at the clip of his latest single, Let's Take Tonight.
Let's take tonight and be real with ourselves, 'cause we've tried and tried, but that did not help.
That was beautiful. Very soulful tear-jerker from Layne called Let's Take Tonight. Take a moment to follow him on social media. All right, that leaves us to our artist #3 for the ones to watch for April, Sadie Bass. Sadie Bass comes to us from a very tiny town called Bath, Michigan. That's right outside of Lansing, Michigan. And now she resides in Nashville. She also made an appearance on The Voice in the fall of 2022. Check out the screen right now and look at Sadie Bass on her social media platforms. Make sure to follow her and give her some love. Sadie Bass _ on Instagram, Sadie Bass Country Music on Facebook, and of course you can find everything at sadiebassmusic.com. Woo, this is so exciting. Sadie Bass is an artist that decided to give up a college softball scholarship and to pursue her music. And she moved to Nashville in early of 2020. She is now open for artists such as Brantley Gilbert, Hardy, Jimmy Allen, Jordan Davis, and so many more. With her tremendous talent, she actually got to play on the Brantley Gilbert's country cruise after placing top 5 in the competition to get there. Way to go, Sadie. I have definitely been following her career and her music that she's been putting out of Nashville. And so now, without further ado, let's check out her clip and her amazing music video of Wear It Out. This is Sadie Bass.
But nothing's good until you wear it out, rough it up, break it or see where it's been, and let it ache, feel the fade, and wash off the new, yeah.
Alright, that was artist number 3, Sadie Bass, giving us her original music video for Wear It Out. That was beautiful, such a visual. Please keep putting out your original material because we're gonna just keep eating it up. Okay, with that being said, make sure you follow her on social media. And now that brings us to our last artist to feature, the artist number 4 for the ones to watch for the month of April, James Dunn. I actually got to meet James Dunn at the C2C on one of the side stages that was sponsored by the Dukes of Highgate. James was born and raised in northern London by Irish parents, and also served in the British Armed Forces for almost 10 years. Wow, check the page out right now for James Dunn socials. That is James Dunn Music UK for Facebook, and also James Dunn Music UK for Instagram. I am so excited we are featuring and talking about James Dunn this month. Make sure you check out his new music, Black Train. But today he will be performing a cover of Tyler Childers' White House Road. Here it is by James Dunn.
Get me drinking in moonshine. Get me higher than the grocery bill. Take my troubles to the highwall. Fall in the river and get your fill. We've been sniffing that cocaine. Ain't nothing better when the wind gets cold. Lord, it's a mighty hard living. Damn, do you feel around these roads?
And there you have it. That was our artist number 4, James Dunn, covering White House Road by Tyler Childers. That was fantastic. So nice to meet you, man, in person, and congrats on your brand new single, Long Black Train. Make sure you follow him on social media. So that's a wrap. The month of April for ones to watch: Savannah Garter, Corey Layne, Sadie Bass, and James Dunn. Make sure you check all of them out on social media. We would certainly appreciate it. And look at all the links below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you can see all of the videos that we are putting out throughout the month, including getting notified for this episode of Ones to Watch next month for May, because we're going to feature 4 more amazing artists. My name is Kirsty Krause. It has been so much fun to host this segment on Live in the Living Room, and I will see you guys next time.
And that was the Ones to Watch segment hosted by the fabulous Kirsty Krause here on Live in the Living Room. Be sure to give each and every one of those artists a follow on their socials. The handles are being shown throughout. Or alternatively, just check them all out on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Apple Music, on wherever you get your shows from. Up next here on Live in the Living Room is a wonderful, wonderful song. But first, can you hear that in the background? It's the voice of the fabulous Abby Ophelia with her song Here I Come, which is just such an earworm. I absolutely love it. Be sure to get it downloaded right now. Well, as I was saying, next up is Matt Clues of Clues' Country with his pick, and today he's chosen the fabulous Megan Rose. So here she is with her song, Cowboy with Wings.
Gypsy eyes, perfect smile, and a heart of pure gold. Had you listening for hours to the stories he told. feeling old now, all alone. Nothing quite feels the same. Heard the echoes of loved ones gently calling his name. Holding hands with all the family, said his final goodbyes. A faint smile on his lips as he closed those brown eyes. And for those of us who never got to see, just know you shaped who we are today. So go find your Neverland up in the sky, where it's 5 o'clock always, but time never flies. Where they play country music, the angels will sing. Forever a cowboy with those beautiful wings. Forever a cowboy with those beautiful wings. Oh, fly free.
Hello, live in the living room viewers. It is me, Linda, aka Voice of a Woman, and I'm bringing you another girl crush. And this girl crush is one of Voice of a Woman's ones to watch always, for her talent, her skill, her lyricism, her story, just everything there is to know about her. Her name is Harriet Rose, and she's been on the scene for quite a while, doing live gigs for many, many, many years. And then lockdown with live streams has brought her to the forefront, and she's just incredible. She has incredible skill in songwriting, she has incredible skill in melodies, and also one of the other things I love about her is she can quiet an audience. There was one gig I was at, there was a few artists on before, and there was a bit of talking during, not loud, but just a bit of talking. And then Harriet came on and sang her set, sheer and utter silence, just listening to all the songs that she writes, and she's just brilliant. She's got 3 singles released so far: Small Town Chain, Love Me Like That, and Fare Thee Well. And this is a little clip of Small Town Chains, especially for you.
Cause these small town chains, they can hold me back no more. Got some big time plans, and that's all I'm living for. So thank you for the raise, and thank you for the grace, and thank you for the strength to know that I can make it. Cause these small town chains are loose, they are on the floor.
Now, the first time I saw Harriet Rose was on a DC Brown Writers' Rounds he did during lockdown, and I just fell in love instantly. And then she sang Imagine Paradise, which is a song she wrote about losing her mother when she was very young. And that just hit such a nerve because I lost my mother the same age as Harriet did. And I bawled my eyes out. I absolutely bawled crying. I've told this story quite a few times. I just lost the plot, just bawled crying. And it was just such an emotional connection in that song. And ever since, I just I think that day and that song and everything about it, I think that's what music is all about. And it takes a story and you can heal through that, and it's just something that's amazing. And I don't think you can put a price on that, and I don't think that can be sold as a product. I think that's so special, and to have that is just incredible. And that's Harriet has that in spades, and she's just incredible. And she is playing a lot of festivals this year. A lot of festivals. She is hopefully bringing out her EP this year. She did it was a crowdfunding, and her EP is in progress, I believe. And I'll be very, 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 very excited when her EP comes out. Last year, she played Buckle and Boots, and she slayed. She also played Pizza Express last year and impressed Matt Spracklin, very much so. And she also supported Andrew Cushion, and still does, and many, very many times. And he is a very prolific singer-songwriter in and around Manchester, Liverpool, places like that, so she's supported them. And she has lots of gigs in her diary, so if you go off to her Twitter, which will probably be down there somewhere, down, yes, I'm sure they'll put it on there, and you'll be able to see her. Go and check out dates and stuff on her Twitters, Harriet Rose Music, and go to her website, and hopefully we'll be able to just enjoy everything Harriet Rose, because it's needed, definitely needed. She's incredible. She's an incredible talent. She's one to watch. I think she deserves to go big. She deserves to be recognised far and wide, because she has just got an incredible talent, and just her skill of songwriting and even covers. It's just incredible. So I think I might have gushed enough. Do you think? I think I've gushed enough. Yes. So join me again at the same time next month when I'll have another girl crush all for you. Take care. Have a nice month. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
And that was the fabulous Harriet Rose as part of Linda Conway's Voice of a Woman segment here on Live in the Living Room. An absolutely amazing artist who is storming across through the UK like a hurricane. Just so talented. Absolutely amazing. Be sure to give Harriet a follow on her socials. But before that was the wonderful Megan Rose with Cowboy with Wings, who performed at this year's Live in the Living Gives Back event as part of Matt Clues's From Clues Country's lineup, and definitely is her pick for today. So absolutely fantastic. Megan Rose took part in The Great Escape last year at the Modern Age Music Roots stage, playing alongside Ashley Campbell, Paul McDonald and many, many more. She's also spent a summer performing on the Cactus Jack stage at Millport County Music Festival in August, the stage that will also saw country star Sarah Darling perform too. Megan also got an exciting 2023 to look forward to, and she kicked it off right by performing at this year's Live in Living Room Gives Back event. In the background, you can hear this sensational duo, Two Ways Home, with their song Signals in the Smoke. Make sure you get that streamed right away. Such a cracking song. Well, coming right now here on Live in the Living Room is an interview and a performance from a Canadian legend. Here is Dan Davidson.
Well, it might be the whiskey talking, might be the wine, but I think that I found someone I can settle down with. All my life, once bitten and twice shy. I've been through the worst, now I wanna make you mine. I've been wandering all alone. I've been broke down, I've been stoned, walking in circles, speaking in tongues. Laid my eyes upon you and I came undone. Would you marry me in the back 40 by the rusty truck and the maple tree? Country house and a family, we can have that beautiful life. Well, it might be the whiskey talking, might be the wine, but I think that I found someone I can settle down with. All my life I've been running from the light, won't need darkness till you came around. Now I've been found, I've been found. Left that heartache in the past,
maple tree. Country house and a family, we can have that beautiful life. Well, it might be the whiskey talking, might be the wine, but I think that I found someone I can settle down with. All my life I've been running from the light, only darkness till you came around. Now I've been found, I've been found. Would you marry me in the back 40 by the rusty truck and the maple tree? Country house and a family, we can have that beautiful life. Well, it might be the whiskey talking, might be the wine, but I think that I found someone I can settle down with. All my life I've been running from the light, only darkness till you came around. Now I've been found, I've been found. Well, it might be the whiskey talking, might be the wine, but I think that I found someone I can settle down with. All my life, once bitten and twice shy, I've been through the worst, now I wanna make you mine.
Hi, I'm Dom here on Live in the Living Room, and I've got the amazing Dan Davidson here with me. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, it's a bright, sunny day here out in Western Canada, and we're starting to feel a little bit summery. So, the spring is coming back into our step, and we're gearing up for a big summer of country music out here.
So exciting. I mean, I can see the kind of like sunshine that's peering through the window there, and you're what, 7 hours behind us here in the UK, so your day's only just starting.
That's right, 10 in the morning today, and it's kind of nice and kind of bad when you're dealing with the UK overseas. It's hard to catch people during office hours, but if you're a morning person, that's not so bad.
It's not too bad at all. I mean, particularly kind of like your line of work, when you do start going to gigs and stuff, I can imagine you go to quite a few late night shows and not getting home till 10, 11, 1 in the morning kind of thing. So going into the next day, I can imagine it's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, sometimes it is. In country music, it's like I was in a rock band for years before this, and those shows were always like we wouldn't go on until midnight. And now it's like I at least can get home by midnight or 1. So it's okay.
It's great as you're starting to get that little bit older and you just want to just have a nice cup of tea before bed.
That's it. Well, yeah, I'm just like I'm such a morning person anyway. I get all my stuff done, all my writing, everything happens before 2 o'clock, and then I'm kind of a zombie for a little while.
So we've just had performances here on Live in the Living from yourself, and the particular song that we played was Found. I mean, Found is such a pivotal song that it just encompasses you because it is the one that brought you to life. It's the one that kind of rose you up into the annexes of everybody.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing. Like I remember when I wrote that song, it was one of my first country music songs, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I feel like there's a lot of pressure in country music for people to just chase what everyone's doing, but luckily I was like a pretty blank slate. Like I knew what I liked, but I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, quote unquote. And that was the best thing that served me. My producer was like, what we need is a Thank God I'm a Country Boy meets Honey, I'm Good. And so I didn't even have a guitar in my hand. I was just stomping and clapping, walking around my kitchen, and I came up with most of the song just on my own at home. And then I went over to my friend Clayton Bellamy's house from a Canadian band called the Roadhammers. They're fairly big over here. And we finished it up in like an hour. It was just like one of these songs you call a sky song, it just falls into your lap and you don't have to work that hard at it. And then, yeah, it came out and, it was the top selling independent song in Canada. It was one of the top selling Canadian country songs, and before I knew it, it went platinum up here. So it was like ever since that came out, that I had to hit the ground running because it's just been keeping up with the momentum of that song for the last 5 years.
I mean, it's absolutely insane how quick it went up the charts and how it's kind of created this pathway for you, because you go into like your recent songs and the songs that you've already got out now, such as like Warm Beer and Role Models, you know, songs like that are just so iconic in a way, because the way they're just so upbeat, the way they've got some like almost like hidden contexts. I mean, like Warm Beer, I love how fun and quirky it is, but then you listen to the lyrics, it's actually just kind of like slagging, you know, that whole situation of saying, I'd rather have a warm beer. But you don't feel that way. You feel like you're just up and dancing.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely like a lightness, I think, to what I've done in the past, and it's nice. You know, I think that there's a lot of people in country music that take themselves really seriously, and
Yeah.
that's cool. But I just feel like the biggest thing I can do to maintain fans and to grow fans is to show a little bit of personality. And like Warm Beer, for example, that one came to me because like I'm on stage usually playing these beer gardens and things like that, and I can see all these like drunk 21-year-old guys trying to pick up girls and failing miserably.
Yeah.
And it just was funny to me. So I had to write a song about that guy.
It's fascinating because, you know, that's the kind of like path I wanted to go down. It's the fact that no matter what you write, no matter how serious or no matter how quirky it can be, you've still got that fun element. You've still got that, you know, that charm to yourself. And it's just so great to see that in an artist and to see it, you know, flourishing and being as great as it is. So I just want to say bravo.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's fun. I think a lot of it, I think longevity comes from personality. Like I think about all my favorite artists from over the years, and like the ones that stand out in any genre are the ones that you can, you know, you hear a song and you know it's them without really,
Yeah.
you don't have to work too hard. You know, I think like avoiding the idea of a song being interchangeable between artists is the real key. And it's hard. It is hard because, you know, we all want to do the things that we know that have been ingrained in our brains for years writing country music. And it's a challenge. And I think that's why I like it so much. It's always fun to try and not repeat yourself, but be familiar enough to fans that they know it's you.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest compliment you can almost give to any artist is by saying that, you know, you do not sound like anybody else. You do not sound,
Hmm.
you know, Travis Tritt, or, you know, you don't sound like Jason Aldean, or you don't sound like X, Y, Z. You know, you sound like you. You sound like Dan. You know, when I listen to this song, it's Dan Davidson, and that's what I get from your music. And
Oh,
it's,
that's great, man. Well, that's a huge compliment. I appreciate that.
but yeah, absolutely, absolutely fantastic. And it shows because the amount of kind of like nominations that you've got and the progression through the awards and everything, you know, through like the CCMAs, you know, it's so incredible. You know, it's credits where credits due.
Oh, thanks. You know, it is tough though being an independent artist because a lot of that stuff is hyper political, like radio play, award shows, all that stuff in Canada anyway. Like we have a bit of a different system in the UK because all our radio is private, so they're all owned by companies. So there's 4 or 5 companies, and there's like a series of gatekeepers that program for clumps of stations. So it's quite difficult these days to get radio play and to get award nominations.
Yeah.
So it feels great when that comes through for me because it's like you know, I'm independent artist. I've been an independent artist for an amount of time I'm embarrassed to say, but it's good because when I went through all those years slagging it out in the rock and roll world, when I got into country, I already knew what to do. So I didn't have to make all those mistakes that a lot of new artists have to. And, you know, I've done every job in the music industry, so I'm kind of prepped and I can handle it. I mean, I am looking to grow my team always, but you know, the good thing is if I'm on my own, I can still handle it.
Well, that's the main thing, you know, having it's sometimes nice to have all eggs in one basket, as well as being able to share them out and kind of like get help where needed. And you know what you've mentioned that you've had your hands in almost every single part of the music industry and kind of like music progression. What kind of like things have you done then? You know, can you give us a bit of a background inside to yourself?
Sure, man. Well, I'll start with the rock band because that was such a big part of my life. But when I was 19, I started a rock and roll band in Edmonton called Tupelo Honey. And we very quickly started touring with some of the biggest bands in the world. Like we were opening for Bon Jovi in arenas, and we were coming up in that time in 2007, 2008 when the industry was at its absolute worst. So we had labels flying out to see us from LA and from New York and to Edmonton, which is just a small town in Canada. And we would sell 1,000 tickets in our hometown. But every time a label guy was supposed to fly out, we would find out the next day that they got fired, and I just had enough. So I was like, that's it. I'm just going to figure out how to compete with these label bands on my own, do my own fundraising, tour managing, merch design, video editing, publishing, dealing with publishers, and all this stuff. So I gained a lot of experience doing that. And as the rock band was starting to shut down, I signed a publishing deal and I started getting into production. So I started producing bands and doing a lot of publishing and sync, and then I got into running my own small label for a while, and I booked shows for other bands, and I took all those skills and I kind of wrapped them into my project in the country music world, and now I've able to build a little bit of a team around me. I still don't have a label, and I've had a couple managers now, and it's great. I love working with people for sure, but I'm really thankful that I've had all those years to understand how the business works.
It's insane. That is absolutely insane. I mean, talk about having a resume of things that you're able to do. You just walk into someone will look at you and say, "Yeah, he's got the job. He's got the job."
Yeah, well, hopefully that's something I never need to do, walk into an interview. But right now, I'm pretty happy that I get to make music and tour the world with my friends. I feel like if I can keep doing this, I feel like I've cracked the code a little bit.
I mean, talking about touring, you've done some serious touring in the past. I mean, what was it, over 120 shows with Breakfast Hill? You've toured all over, throughout the Canada, throughout Europe. You've hit most parts of Europe. Where else are you going to? Where else can you go to?
Yeah, it's weird. I thought when rock and roll stopped, I thought that was it for my international touring days. But I didn't, the more I got into country, the more I started seeing how interesting the landscape is out there for country music. Like Australia is very similar to Canada as far as like the type of fan, the type of country music that they're into, and the mentality of it all. Like America is always going to be like the big brother. That's kind of the hub. And Australia is kind of just a slightly smaller Canada. And then, in the UK, it's so exciting for me because I see the fans are really passionate there. And it's like, it's still, country music is a bit newer to that region in the grand scheme of things as far as the growth. Like you see, growth has just exploded in the UK right now. And they're finding a lot of interest, I find, in the song, which excites me. Like it's not as throwaway there, like that people are really digging into the lyrics and the craft of songwriting. And I find that really exciting. And that's why I wanted to focus so much time on the UK and spend some money to be there because, well, a little easier to communicate with people in the UK because they speak English, believe it or not. And and it's just I just feel the wave. So I'm trying to be an early and one of the Canadians that's just over there and just working. But then in Europe, it's a little different on mainland Europe, where in France it's very throwback. Everything's very 90s. It's a bit of an older crowd, and it's kind of the same in Spain. And I've even been to like Hungary and Italy a little bit too. And it's all very line dance focused on mainland Europe, which is strange because people just don't really do that here. So I find that the fans are a little more similar in Australia and in the UK, but it's exciting, and it's like a fun sociological experiment to go around the world and see what people pull out, what's their favorite parts of the genre.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about the UK, liking the certain lyrics and going into the lyrics. One thing that we always do as well, we tend to do in the UK, is we tend to fixate on artists. So once you like one song, you like the second song. Next thing you know, you've got the whole catalogue, back catalogue, SoundCloud links, everything from like deep dark web we're fans of, and we go deep. So
that's really cool. And I guess that's why I want to be there. I just want to be in front of people just to have that FaceTime. And I think that's where it all starts. So, as much as we're in the digital age, I'm still a firm believer of you make fans when you tour, because when people see you live and they get that chance to just like have a little bit of interaction, it just goes such a long way.
Definitely. Well, we look forward to having you over here in the UK, hopefully soon. Is there any kind of ideas of when you wanted to come over, or do you have anything penciled in?
Well, I'm dying to get back there for sure. I was really hoping to weasel my way onto the Long Road Fest this year, but I'm going to be in Australia on tour actually, so I won't be able to do that one. But I'm going to keep pestering the C2C to try and come back. Maybe do the Dublin one or wherever else they go. and as well as London. That would be really cool. And it's just it's just starting to make friends and keep the conversation rolling. So put in a good word for me if you're talking to anyone over there.
Certainly will. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute honor having you on the show. Where can we find you on your socials?
Yeah, man. Well, pretty much the hub for everything is dandavidsonmusic.com, but you can always there's links to my Spotify and to my Instagram. It's pretty much everything at It's Dan Davidson, and I love hearing from people. I respond to everything. So if someone wants to reach out and say hi, I would love to hear from them.
All right, everybody, you heard that. It's Dan Davidson on all the socials. Check his music out as well. You will not be disappointed. So good. Well, thanks, Dan, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you later.
Thanks so much, Dom. We'll see ya.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And there we have it, the conversation I had with the amazing singer-songwriter Dan Davidson. Hailed as Alberta's country sensation, Dan Davidson has created an undeniable momentum in the last few years. As we touched upon, he has had 6 CCMA nominations, as well as 10 ACMA nominations, a gold record, a #1 selling Canadian song and record, top 20 charting numbers and hundreds of performances. It's easy to forget that he's still an independent artist. Be sure to check more out about him by following him on his socials. His handles are just below. Now in the background you can also hear the talented Simon James with the Breaker song, a great track that you should really get downloaded as soon as possible. Well, right now we have Rachel Selix from Scarlet River PR's pick, and here is the wonderful Sarah Louise with Rosa Parks Boulevard.
All my life I've been trying to find the right path to go. It feels like everyone has been telling me no, and I couldn't find a way, and I couldn't find the right words to say, and I knew I had to come here. I found myself on Rosa Parks Boulevard, Rosa Parks Boulevard. I've been dreaming, been scheming, nothing seemed to come my way. I've been lying, I've been trying, but nothing seemed to happen for me. I've been hoping, been coping, nothing seemed to come my way until I found myself on Rosa Parks Boulevard, Rosa Parks Boulevard. Now I don't let these things get to me. Since I arrived in Nashville, Tennessee, and I couldn't find a way, and I couldn't find the right words to say, and I knew I had to come here. I found myself on Rosa Parks Boulevard, Rosa Parks Boulevard. I've been dreaming, I've been scheming, nothing seemed to come my way. I've been lying, I've been trying, but nothing seemed to happen for me. I've been hoping, been coping, nothing seemed to come my way until I found myself on Rosa Parks Boulevard, Rosa Parks Boulevard. Ooh, you ain't ready, no space in my head.
Louise with her upbeat song Rosa Parks Bvld here on Live in the Living Room, a track that she actually performed at this year's Live in the Living Room event. Absolutely amazing song. Be sure to get it streamed as soon as possible. Now, Sarah Louise is a professional, unsigned singer-songwriter from Essex, UK. A performer from an early age, Sarah Louise has developed a passion for writing, being creative and sharing her life experiences through her music. Make sure you are following Sarah on her socials. Her links are just below. Now, in the background, you can hear a song from the artist that I had a chat with earlier. It's Dan Davidson, and this time you can hear his song Church. Make sure you get it downloaded amongst his other songs right now. Well, coming up next here on Live in the Living Room are our next new releases, and this is Owen Morgan from Live Country London.
I'm grabbing a moment outside in the midst of the English April showers to bring you a roundup of some of the new releases that you may have heard or you may have missed over the last few weeks. Audra McLaughlin had released a new single called Wake Me Up. Helena Mace released a single called Loose End. But you can check out New Old Outlaws by Waylon Hanel. The Hills is the new song from Wood Burnt Red. And the Jackson Line released Shade of the Pines. She Don't Want You by Gareth Heason. There was Aaron Copeland's Lovin' On You. And Brent Carmichael's Do Me Like That. Tainey Lord released a new song, Love Hard. And Dakota Ryan with Ballad of a Broken Woman. And then from everybody's favourite country DJ Matt Sprackman, You Unlock Me. Jordan Taylor Hines released Memories. Scott Haley's new single, Zombie Town. And then a new single, Black Train from James Dunn. Paul Dupe released Meant to Be. And then Garrett Bryan and the Travelling City Committee released their single, Please Brooke. Sarah Louise released Dreamers Country. And then Noel Boland released This Thing. And finally, for this month's roundup, Country Life for Me, the new single from the Westlands. Enjoy them, stream them, download them, find them wherever you can, and share them with other people that you love. There's some great songs on this list, and I know you're going to love them.
And that was our new releases from Owen Morgan from Live Country London, who stands in for Mr. Paul Adams this month. Be sure to check out all those new releases. And in the background is Wood Burnt Red Redneck. Such a great track there. Get it added to your Spotify playlist as soon as possible. Now up next is another legend from London. Here is Dave Sutherland with Damaged.
Dark side of the moon, the man with the spoon unravels me, gets me undone. I lay on my bed, there's voices instead, where the dreams once belonged. Before came this wild, was an innocent child, undamaged, unraveled, undone. I lay on my bed, there's voices became this wild was an innocent child, undamaged, unraveled, undone. Help me, I'm broken, damaged, unraveled, undone. There's rage in my brain, I'm in terrible pain, unraveled, undone, damaged, unraveled, undone, damaged, unraveled, undone.
That was Dave Sutherland with his song Damaged, a fantastic song from Dave, who was one of our first performers at the Live in the Living Room Gives Back event, which was such a great event. Thank you to everybody who turned up and watched on the live streams. Your support is what keeps all of us going. Now in the background you can hear the fabulous duo that is 2K and Ryan, who also performed at the Live in the Living Room Gives Back event. They're such an amazing duo, and the song you can hear is called Breakthrough. Be sure to check it out, as well as Dave Sutherland. Well, that is it from me. Be sure to join us for our next episode of Live in the Living, where we'll be featuring artists from this year's Country on the Coast Festival in Portsmouth. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you can stay up to date with everything that happens here at Live in the Living Room. Big shouts outs, as always, go to our production assistants, Hayley and Chrissy, who help out at our events. Charlotte, who does a lot of the video and a lot of these links and games such as the Bop It Challenge. To the man himself, James Vince, the man behind Live in the Living Room, who constructs the episodes, edits the videos together, and to all the people who search and nominate artists for the shows. Rachel Selleck of Scarlet River PR, Jess T from Jess T Country on Country Radio UK, Matt Clues from Clues Country, world-renowned man, myth, legend, DC Brown, Linda Conway from Voice of a Woman, and Nick Cantwell from Bells and Gals, who gives us our final performance now with Demi Michelle and her track, I Hope You Know You're Lucky. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
To the girl he holds through the night, does he tell you that you're beautiful and that you're his whole entire world? Those are words I wish he said to me, but to him I'm only a distant memory. You don't know who I am, that's okay, but I gotta say, when he surprises you with roses, I hope you know you're lucky. When he stops your tears from flowing, I hope you know you're lucky. Sometimes you don't notice you've got something golden till it's gone. So when he looks into your eyes and says he loves you, I hope you know you're lucky. To the girl he'd cross the ocean for, does he say forever and always, and promise you he's there to stay? Those are words I wish he said to me, but to him I'm nothing more than history. You don't know who I am, that's okay, but I gotta say, when he surprises you with roses, I hope you know you're lucky. When he stops your tears from flowing, I hope you know you're lucky. Sometimes you don't notice you've got something golden till it's gone. So when he looks
into your eyes and says he loves you. I hope you know you're lucky, so lucky. Oh, don't take a single moment for granted. You've got it all, so don't forget it. 'Cause I am in the dark, waiting for the sun to rise on the day I finally find the one. And if he surprises me with roses, I will know I'm lucky. If he stops my tears from flowing, I will know I'm lucky. Believe me, I will notice I've got something golden and hold on. And if he looks into my eyes and says he loves me, I will know I'm lucky, so lucky. But until that day comes, you got everything I want. So I hope you know you're lucky.
Life is a funny old thing. Can make you cry all night, can make you dance and sing.